Thanks for tuning in to Jam Happy Hour, benefiting Sweet Relief Musicians Fund. I'm Michelle, the M in Jam Sellers, that with my husband John, we started a decade ago. Live music has always been part of our DNA, and it feels great to host you with our easy-to-love wines while also helping musicians in need. Sweet Relief is a non-profit fund that provides financial assistance for career musicians and industry workers who are struggling to make ends meet. Over the past year, we've surpassed our goal of raising $25,000 for the fund. And with your help, over the next 12 months, Jam Sellers is committed to raising another $25,000 for Sweet Relief. Simply listen in, comment, share, or like, and Jam Sellers will donate $1 up to $2,500 per show if you do. Plus, you can click or text to donate directly to Sweet Relief. So pour yourself a glass of butter Chardonnay and get ready to enjoy some new music. Cheers.
Cheers indeed. Welcome into the Jam Happy Hour, benefiting the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund. I am Jana, so thrilled to be here for the final show of 2022. And today we will be joined by Halle Kearns, who's coming in from Nashville, Tennessee to hang out and just kind of get to know each other a little bit better and enjoy some music and enjoy some wine. So cheers to you.
Cheers.
Thank you so much for jumping in with us tonight. Are you familiar with the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund and kind of what it stands for?
Yes, I am now. We've got to look it up since getting this opportunity, and it's just incredible. I'm so excited about the show.
You know, it's a fund that's been around pre-pandemic, but I think, you know, in the pandemic, it became even more necessary when you feel about, like, you know, all of the venues and all, you know, the front of the house, back line, all the people that make those shows work, from the smallest of venues to the largest of stadium tours. It's such a living and breathing machine that when the industry kind of had to take a beat and had to stop, you realize just how many people are involved in the process. So we love to raise money for Sweet Relief Musicians Fund. It's the easiest fundraiser in the world. You hang out, you enjoy music here with us, and then for every like, click, share, emoji, bottle pop in, whatever you want to put in the comments on all the platforms, every time you do that, we donate $1 on your behalf from Jam Sellers. So prepare to donate away. We want to put some big numbers on the board tonight. But Halle, hi, welcome in from Nashville. I'm so excited that you're here.
Thank you.
And I love that you're sipping on, is that butter Chardonnay in the back?
I already got it. Check it out.
Exactly. Super tasty. So the fun thing about this night is not only do, you know, you and I get to hang out and just have some girl time, which I really look forward to. Your fans get to know us a little bit better. Our fans get to know you a little bit better. And if somebody's experiencing you for the first time this evening, kind of describe your sound as to where it is now.
Sure, absolutely. Recently, my last single, it was described as dream country, which is kind of I thought it was a sweet,
that sounds so
kind of
nice.
fun, right? It's kind of this more like ethereal, easy listening, kind of down the middle country. It has a lot of 90s influence, but I also pull some like pop sounds as well. So somewhere in there.
All right, well, excellent. Well, what I would love to do, I know we've got an hour and it feels like it's going to be a long time, but it's not. It goes fast.
Sure.
So I would love to jump in on our first song of the evening, so we can kind of just like set the tone and get into this party together. So what would you like to perform for us first?
I'm going to kick it off with, I think, the single I just released. Came out a couple of weeks ago. It's called Moment, and I released it on December 9th. It's really just about, you know, being present, being where you are, soaking in the now, and not missing out on this moment.
Oh, so hard to do. Yeah.
Girl,
Looking forward to it.
I wrote this as a reminder to myself, just because I'm the worst at like skipping ahead, living in the future, worrying or dreaming about what's to come. So
I think we all are. Looking forward to it. Here's Moment on the Jam Happy Hour. Thank you so much.
Tennessee highways sure make a mind wander. Yeah, I-40 knows how to make a dreamer dream. You're laughing and saying something about the weather. Well, I'm lost in 5-year plans and wedding rings. But I can see the road ahead of us so clear. That's why it makes it so hard to stay right here. but I don't wanna miss out on what we got right now. The sunset, you in the driver's seat. Yeah, we're right where we're supposed to be. So if I ever get lost in thinking about what's next, remind me tomorrow's gonna get where it's going. And we only get this moment for a moment. So reach for me, baby, kiss me at the next red light. Just say you love me, I'll hang on to every word. 'Cause we got forever for the rest of our lives. So I wanna start with these memories first. I don't wanna miss out on what we got right now. The sunset, you in the driver's seat. Yeah, we're right where we're supposed to be. So if I ever get lost in thinking about what's next, remind me tomorrow's gonna get where it's going. And we only get this moment for a moment. I don't wanna miss out on what we got right now. The sunset, you in the driver's seat. Yeah, we're right where we're supposed to be. So if I ever get lost in thinking about what's next, well, remind me tomorrow's gonna get where it's going. Yeah, remind me tomorrow's gonna get where it's going. And we only get this moment for a moment. Yeah, for a moment.
It is a really great reminder, a really great song, but also
Thank
like
you.
a really great reminder to kind of like slow down and stay in that headspace. It's so hard to do these days, though.
So tough. So yes, I feel you, and I wrote it seriously as a reminder to myself, and then anyone else who can relate to that
Yeah, it's
mindset.
like a musical rubber band, like snap, like you know, get out of your head
Yeah.
and just enjoy
Yeah.
the music. When you're not working on your music, what do you like to listen to?
Ooh, I listen to a lot of like super chill country music, like very. I love an acoustic album. So that I don't know if you know Sean McConnell. He's kind of like a Texas country artist here in Nashville, and his writing style and his voice is just so soothing. So I feel like I kind of navigate or head towards that like more calming country music.
I think we're all kind of craving a little bit of that calm, but you know, the,
Yeah,
the opposite
you're
of
probably
the
right.
calm is on stage excitement and butterflies and that feeling of walking out in front of a crowd. Did you have like one of those moments in 22 where it just like kind of all came together beautifully and you were just like in that space of just like,
Yeah.
oh, all the things?
I always do exactly the opposite of that song before going on stage. I'm like full like panic. Still not like I've never gotten over stage fright. I've never walked on stage being like, got it. Like I'm always like, oh my god, what am I doing?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think one of the best moments I like got to really soak in on stage like that was I opened for Jordan Davis in my
Oof.
hometown this last summer in July.
Stop it.
And it was just, I got to open for some really awesome people and had the same sort of moment, but like that, I don't know, just seeing a bunch of familiar faces in the crowd, singing my songs that I haven't seen in 3 years. It was my first time playing in my hometown since COVID. So that was, I don't know, it was just, there's been so much that's happened since then. So looking out and watching them sing my songs back to me was so surreal. And I just wept like on stage.
Yeah.
I'm
Like
"There's
afterwards.
a guy, sing on." Yeah. No, during, not after.
During, even better.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
I'm going to need a moment here for a
Yeah,
second.
exactly,
So was that in Kansas City?
It was in Columbia, Missouri. It's where
In
we're
Columbia,
originally.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jordan Davis,
Jordan
hometown.
Davis.
Good
Yeah.
God, girl. That's a big moment. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
23 is coming up. I'm sure you've already got a lot of plans ready to go. Is that also going to include more touring for you?
I sure hope so. Yes, it is for sure. I loved it so much. Last year was really my first like official year of touring. Summer on, it was just nonstop, and I loved it so much. You know, you never really, I got to do it here and there, but my first song was released in 2020, so everything I had done up until then was solo
Has
acoustic.
been in the bubble.
Yeah, and a lot of online, which is wonderful, and it's what kind of got everything started for me. But
Yeah.
it's different, obviously, than traveling place to place and playing live. So I don't know. It was last year was my first like real experience with it, and you hope you
What
love
did
it
you
and dream
think?
about it. It was.
It's different. Like the
It
tour
was
lifestyle
amazing. Yes.
it's very different from what you think it is.
It's the least glamorous thing you could
That
possibly
is
imagine. It's so ugly. Like,
That's
the whole
exactly what I was going for. It is
Yeah.
hard and
Yeah.
it's tough and it's
Yeah.
dirty and
Yes.
you're hoping the venue has a shower and
Yep.
but
Or
you
a
loved it.
a room to change in other than a bathroom. Yes,
Right.
for sure. I loved it so much. The lows are lower than you'd think, and the highs are higher, and that's like probably the best way I know how to explain it. Like the payoff is so worth it, and then the hard parts are really freaking hard. That's about
Well, you put it beautifully. Thank you guys so much for jumping into the Jam Happy Hour here. We are benefiting the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund here with Halle Kearns tonight. And I encourage you to like, share, comment, throw a heart emoji up. We like to have a little fun later on where you can get in and maybe, crack Halle a little bit. But we'll come up with that in just a little bit. But it's every time you do that, we raise $1 for this amazing fund for live music and for musicians and venues and stuff like that. Because the fact that live music is back and you stepped away from it for so long, obviously we have this amazing new portal that we're all kind of together now in a new kind of way. But there's nothing like being in a crowd and singing along with your favorite songs. Festivals, like music festivals are back and it's such an exciting time. Have you ever been to like a music festival where you literally just left as a changed person?
Yes. Basically any, I feel like changes you a little bit, anything you go
Good
to
point.
like that. But I would say Roots and Blues Festival in Columbia, Missouri was a really big one for me. It was one of the first festivals I ever went to. I can't remember how old I was, but that was the first time I'd ever been to a proper music festival. And obviously just like stage to stage, like that chaos and the excitement and everything, like it just lit something up in me. And then I went to Stagecoach in 2018, and that was sort of like set this like that is what I want to do. Like this is the country end all be all, not really, but like yes, like it is.
But
like,
yeah,
for
no,
festivals,
Stagecoach is amazing.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, it is a massive country festival, and it brings out the biggest names, and it is just a full, like, solid few days of just like everything you could ever want. And now here, you're getting to this point where you're getting involved in all these things now. Like you're doing the thing. Do you ever sit back and just like watch and realize what you've been able to do in the last couple of years and how much you've been able to grow your career?
It's so funny you asked that, actually. This morning I took a long time. The industry is still kind of like halfway shut down right now just because the end of the year, like sort of thing.
Yeah. Oh,
Everyone's
everybody's
in
on
New Year
vac-
mode already.
Yeah.
So I had the morning off, and I took a lot of time to reflect on this last year and what's happened, and got me thinking on just the whole career in general. And I'm so grateful. Like it has been such a transformative year in so many ways, but getting to like sit down and write out all of these things I'm grateful for, but then also like things I'm hopeful for, and watching that kind of trajectory and just hoping that it continues. I'm super excited about everything that has happened, and hopefully will continue to.
Well, positive breeds positive. We know that for sure. I would love to jump in on another song this evening. What would you like to perform for us next?
I'm gonna play one from my first EP. This song kind of changed all that, like I said. That trajectory definitely kicked things off, it felt like. And it's just, I wrote it about a spring break experience. It's just really like, sounds bad out of context, but it was just like kind of that fun, young, like flirty, you meet someone on spring break and it's just like this fun little beach summer love kind of situation. So this song's called Whatever You Do. It was on Hot Country and Sirius XM's The Highway, and just sort of helped everything get started for me. So
while you get set up for that, if you guys are listening along and you're enjoying, put up an emoji that reminds you of spring break. I cannot wait to watch along, and maybe you can even crack Haley up a little bit while she's singing, depending on what emojis you put up on the screen. I've got a few that I'm going to throw up as well. For every one that you do, every like, comment, and share, we'll donate $1 on your behalf to the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund. We'll have some fun with it too. So, Hallie, take it away here in the Jam Happy Hour.
Alrighty. Like I say, y'all, this one's called Whatever You Do. Warm breeze blew upon that old flag. Had a dive on the coast, had a duffel bag with just me and my girls, and not a care in the world. So you walked in with a couple of friends, with a look saying I'm only here for the weekend, and pulled up a seat right next to me. Now whatever you do, don't stop sliding over closer, and don't you stop talking over the music that's making you move your lips a little closer to mine. Whatever you do, keep on dancing all around me, and keep on trying to make me forget that we just made, 'cause I'm really getting into whatever you do. Hey, whatever you do, boy. We got 2 Coronas and a booth in the back. We won't say forever, won't mention the past, but the sky's clear, so let's get out of here. You're kicking off your shoes and taking my hand and asking if I know how to dance. I said, boy, you couldn't teach me if you wanted to, but whatever you do, don't stop sliding over closer, and don't you stop talking over the music that's making you move your lips a little closer to mine. Whatever you do, keep on dancing all around me, and keep on trying to make me forget that we just made, 'cause I'm really getting into whatever you do. Now whatever you do, don't stop sliding over closer, just quit talking over the music, boy, just do it. Put your lips on mine. Whatever you do, keep on dancing all around me, and keep on trying to make me forget that we just made, 'cause I'm really getting into whatever you do. Whatever you do, boy. I see all the beer emojis coming in hot.
Exactly.
All the drinks.
Beer, sunglasses, umbrella
Sunshine, palm
drinks.
trees.
I mean, we've all had that moment though, that when you're at that spring break and you look across the pool or look down the beach and you're like, hey
Little
boy.
spring break cutie. It might be one of
Yeah.
those things. It's like, I don't know if this makes any sense, but you know how people have like work crushes and like that sort of thing, or like
Yeah.
it's like a spring break crush. It's like maybe it wasn't as great as I thought it was, but the whole romanticizing the
moment.
atmosphere was great.
So where did you go in spring break growing up? Because I know you said you're from Missouri.
Yeah, my family usually went to the beach, like probably like usually around like Pensacola, Seaside, that whole Panhandle area.
Yeah, we were
every day.
Panama City,
Yep.
like Destin, kind of in that area
Exactly.
too.
Yeah.
Oh, good times. When did you know, growing up, that this is like something that you wanted to do? Like, when did you get bit by the music bug to the point where you're like, all right, I'm going to teach myself guitar. I'm going to dive in on this. Like, where did that all come from?
Honestly, all the way back to, I started appreciating music as far back as like 5 years old is what my mom told me, at least. So in my car seat, I was listening to a Martina McBride album. I listened to her all the time growing up. But
Yeah.
I guess Concrete Angel was playing, and I started crying. And
Aw.
my mom's looking at me in the rearview mirror, and like I'm like crying hard enough for her to pull over and be like, "What is wrong? What's going on?" And I guess I said, "That little girl, she died." And she was like, "What are you?" It's morbid, sorry. And she's like, "What little girl? What are you talking about?" I was like, "In the song." And she was like, "Oh my gosh, like you're listening enough to lyrics and paying attention." So like, I guess from there, I've always loved lyrics. I've always loved like hearing people's stories and like the heart behind what they're doing. And That's kind of where it began for me. But I started playing guitar when I was 13 years old, and that's really when I was like, okay, this is all I want to do. And junior year of high school, I decided I wasn't going to go to college, and I was going to start playing out and pursuing it.
It's working out pretty well.
Yeah. Thank the Lord.
It's doing all right. So you are into the story early on then.
Yeah.
I've said it a few times, working in radio for 25 plus years, you get a lot of music theory thrown at you. And one that I've always heard is that women hear lyrics and men hear the music first, initially. So I don't know if that's true or not. I think everybody has their own way of taking in music, but I've always been one that's very much down with the story. Like, I want to know the story of the song. And whether it's the story that you meant writing the song, or if it's the story that I hear hearing your song, I think those are very individual things. And what, as a songwriter, that's got to be pretty cool to know that you've created something that's going to go out into the world, and it's going to change, and it's going to morph.
It's so beautiful.
It's a living, breathing thing.
Yeah, and you worded it so perfectly, too. I mean, that's exactly the whole intention, not only to share my own story and what I've been through and me, but, like, letting people take what I've experienced and, like, plug in their own people and places and moments that have happened and making the song their own. Like, that's so cool. That's what made me fall in love with music, was doing that from other writers and other artists.
Right. So Martina McBride was an early influence. Were there some other artists that stick out to you? Well, whatever mom was listening to on the radio, clearly.
Yeah. A lot of CDs. Dixie Chicks was a huge one. Listened to a lot of them growing up. Faith Hill, Shania Twain, George Strait, Alan Jackson. A lot of just 90s country.
And look at Shania now.
I know, making a comeback.
What? I'm so here for it. I love it so much.
All about it.
That energy when she came through the first time, and now coming back through again, like I'm here for that, the strong woman thing, and I definitely feel like Nashville is on board for it now, more so than they have been previously. As a woman working and growing your craft in Nashville, what are you feeling about that scene there?
I just feel super fortunate to be coming in now, I guess. I watch a lot of that from the outside, I think, starting out, and obviously there's always a fight to make, like, for more equality and everything like that, but I do think that now coming in where I am, there's just this huge, I don't know how to word it, but just this opportunity for women like there's never been before, and it's such a beautiful thing to watch everyone come together and just do what should have been
support
done a
each
long
other.
time ago.
I think there's more support than there has been in years past, and I think it's a very healthy vibe to be coming out of Nashville right now and living in Nashville. You, as an artist, as a songwriter, what people may or may not know about the scene in Nashville is that it is very cumulative. Like, people like to get together, and they like to help each other, and they like to lift each other, and they also like to grow together. So what is, like, your typical week of, okay, I'm an artist, I'm working in Nashville. Take us through, like, your day-to-day. Like, how do you hone your craft?
It's probably the hardest question I have to answer ever, because people, what does your day look like? And I'm like, I don't know. I honestly have no idea. Every day looks a little bit different. I think the common denominators of each week would be, like, at least a couple writes, where you just go and for an hour, like 3 to 4 hours, you're sitting down and trying to craft a song with a couple other writers. Studio time, there's usually waves of seasons of all these things, so I'll go, like, really heavy on writing for a little bit and, like, heavy in the studio. There's always weekly meetings with my manager Pete, who's the absolute best. Lots of practicing at home, playing at home. Lots of social media is a huge time consumer for me.
It is a huge time consumer.
Yes,
it is.
And then obviously if you're touring, you're doing that usually like Thursday through Sunday. So that's kind of the overall. I could tell, like, seriously, I could walk you through the last couple weeks, and every day would look a little bit different, but that's the overall consistencies.
Well, we're so glad that you could find time to spend here with us in the Jam Happy Hour.
Of course. It's a joy. Thank you.
Getting to know you better, getting to know the music better. You know, I think the world is just really hungry for, like, new, beautiful things right now. And musically, I think everybody's really open to, like, what's next. And, like, there's a weird vibe in 22. Like, I think everybody's, like, ready to turn the page to 23, like, something new's coming. Do you kind of feel that in when you're writing your music right now? Are you looking ahead to where you want to be, or are you writing about where you've been?
I think I'm always looking ahead to some extent. I think writing is such a beautiful thing because it can just be this timeless art. I don't know, you can so easily dip into your experiences while also writing about the future. So there's not really this like thing like I'm solely writing about my experiences or I'm only writing about what's to come, but there's just like really pretty dance between the two things. And I feel like lately especially I've been trying to, I feel like I went through this like I have to write about what I've experienced and I have to put this out on paper, and because it was necessary for the project and it was necessary like or to lend itself to the project I was trying to create. But now it's, I don't know, I just every time I'm writing it's something new and exciting and something I'm like, wow, I didn't really have that full cohesive thought until I sat down with the pen and paper right now, and I feel like I just flushed it out and now here it is in song form. I don't know, it's really
That's
fun,
got to be a
but
really cool moment, though, to be like you're going in and you're thinking doing one thing and something else comes out of it, and you're like, ooh, but I really like that. That's really pretty.
And that's
So-
one of the greatest parts of co-writing too, is sitting down and hearing other people's takes on your own opinion or own thought or own experience, and then be like, oh, me too, or mine was like this, and then creating this piece of art through that. It's so fun.
Well, you have such a beautiful voice, and we've
Thank
already
you.
gotten a really great taste of your songwriting. What song would you like to perform for us next?
Well, on that note, I kind of want to play a new one that's not out
Okay.
yet. It is
Ooh,
a
it's
sad
fresh.
one. It is a sad one, but just,
We'll hug each other if needed.
yes, exactly. The
With
room is
emojis.
screen.
Get your hug emojis ready.
Yeah, get them ready, guys. This song I wrote about an ex-boyfriend, of course, but he was such a wonderful guy. Yeah, such a wonderful person, and there was nothing wrong with our relationship, and that was kind of the hardest part. Was like I knew we weren't meant to be together. I knew it wasn't right, but I couldn't explain why, and so telling him why we were breaking up was extremely difficult. Because how do you put words to like you didn't do anything wrong? So
Right.
I wrote this song. It's called "It's Not You."
Perfect. Thank you.
Hey, can we talk? And just keep on putting this off, 'cause I don't wanna make it real yet, or even feel it. But when I try, I lose my nerve, 'cause it's gonna hurt the both of us. Yeah, this kind of thing always does. But it's not you. You couldn't be better. Everything I could want. It's not you. 'Cause baby, on paper you check every box. And I hate what saying this out loud is gonna do. But you're looking for the one, and I am too. But it's not you. It's not you. I wish I knew what it is that we don't have, and why you think we do, why it's there for you. And maybe I'll look back on all the love we had and regret letting you go. But right now all I know is it's not you. You couldn't be better. Everything I could want. No, it's not you. 'Cause baby, on paper you check every box. And I hate what saying this out loud is gonna do. 'Cause you're looking for the one, and I am too. But it's not you. No, it's not you. And baby, oh, it's killing me to say this. Yeah, but you gotta trust me when I promise that it's not you. That it's not you. No, it's not you. You couldn't be better. Everything I could want. No, it's not you. 'Cause baby, on paper you check every box, and I hate what saying this out loud is gonna do, but you're looking for the one, and I am too, but it's not you. It's not you.
That is such a hard moment to be in. It is the worst. It's the worst, worst. And you put it beautifully, but it's
Thank
so hard. But when you write songs like that, and you can connect with people on that level of, we've all been in this situation. That's a very powerful thing.
Yeah, I've actually been on both sides of that too. I've had someone break up and be like, I just don't know, it's just not there, whatever. And I'm like, there has to be something. You have to be lying about something. Like, what is it actually? And then I
need
experienced
closure.
on the other side. Exactly. Like, tell me I did something wrong. No, but yeah, that came from there. I actually wrote that the day after a breakup. A little fun.
You're really good about like intentions and projections and being, we've talked about being in the moment. We've talked about, being very clear, taking time to kind of reset your mind, whether it's on the daily or whether like, going into a new year, like coming up as we are. That takes a lot of work, and and don't take this the wrong way. But I mean, obviously, you're on the younger side of this industry. Like, who taught you that? Like, that's something you don't pick up for like years and years and years. Like, where did that come from?
I think it's a blend of things. I think one of the people most responsible for that would be my dad. He just, all of my life, that's how he is with everything. He's always been that way. So he led by example a lot in that. I guess I've never really had anyone point that out. So thank you, first of all. It's very, very kind of you.
I think it's amazing. I had to go through a lot of therapy for that one.
Yeah, well, girl, same. Yes. Me too. But, I've always been curious about why people do the things they do and what makes a person react differently than someone else, and just digging into that, like the human psychology in general. But my dad's really, really good about making us slow down enough to be like, what am I doing and why? He actually all my life said, then what to me? Just if I'd say, I'm going to do this and I'm excited about this, or I'm so sad because of blah, blah, blah. He's like, okay, play that out. Like, then what? You get everything you've ever wanted. You want to be a singer. You want to go to the moon and be famous. Like, okay, then what? I don't know. He's like, then that's not
that's
good
coming
enough
across
reason.
as a wrist tattoo to me.
Are you kidding me?
Stop it. You did not. Oh my God. That's amazing.
No Am I basic for that, or are you just in like?
I'm right there with
Literally?
you. I'm like, oh my God.
It's my dad's handwriting too.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's so cute.
good.
It's so cute. But yeah, he always asked me to observe my intentions and pay attention to why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I guess that's probably where that comes from more than anything. And I have a great team around me too now, like my manager and a bunch of friends and artists here that like help me hone in on that too and keep you grounded in that lane. But yeah.
Cheers to Dad.
Cheers to Dad.
Cheers to Dad.
Woo!
That's awesome. I love that moment. And I love that you mentioned your team. I think you're very much the people that you surround yourself with, especially in this industry.
Preach, yes.
Like, we talked about name dropping, and we'll get into that in just a second. In my career, I've had a chance, to see Taylor Swift grow up. From 16 to 30 plus now. What I can tell you, year in and year out, she surrounds herself with the most amazing people. And whether it's keeping her mom close by, or Frank Bell, her manager, or her head of, it's been the same people, and they are, God-fearing, good, keep your head on straight, tell you what you need to hear people. And I think a lot of people in this industry kind of get lost with maybe not the right people. So the fact that you know that and you're already ahead of the game, like with your people, like do you have anybody you want to shout out and say thank you to?
Absolutely. So many people. First of all, Pete Olson is my manager. He is just incredible. He's changed so many things and like helped grow everything, and not just like from a milestone standpoint, but just like character wise and where my heart's at, where my head's at through every step of the way. Like, he's just such a good sounding board and amazing, important person to me. His assistant, Olivia, she's also like a godsend. She's been amazing. Erin from my marketing team. I could literally go on and on. Gemma, she's with Spotify now. She was command ship my distribution forever and ever. Just yeah.
Did you ever think the team would be that big? Like now that you get into the industry and you see how many people it takes to do what you think is just like you and a guitar, which ultimately is where it begins.
Sure.
But when you see the machine in action, do you ever just stand back and go, whoa?
It is crazy. I went to the Country Music Hall of Fame when I was 16 with my dad. It was right when I decided this is what I'm going to do. Everyone's going on college visits. I'm like, let's go to Nashville. I didn't move here till 21, I think. But anyway, we came here at 16 and we got to the Taylor Swift exhibit, funny enough. And she had this display at the time. I'm not sure if it's still there, but it was just a big display case of bobbleheads. Just little figurine bobbleheads. She was in the middle of it, and then there was just, I would say, probably 200 bobbleheads around her. And they all had little labels underneath of their different roles in her life. Like,
how
manager,
cool.
assistant manager, you know, like distribution, like all the different things you could possibly imagine. And I remember my dad and I looking at it being like, who needs this many people? Like, how would you even get to this point of needing, like, I don't even know what this person does. What does an engineer do? Like, we were just like, you know, like mind blown. And then now I'm watching this, my little baby team, like expand, and it just keeps growing. And it's my dad always calls them the bobbleheads, not my team personally, but just like, another bobblehead. You need another bobblehead for that. Like, and that's
y'all's inside joke. I mean, from that is so super cool.
Is there a bobblehead for that? Like, that's so funny.
You're gonna have your own like team of bobbleheads.
That sounds awful,
eventually.
But yes, it is.
In the best way, because it is a machine and it is a business. And you know, when you're in the throes of it, like when you said, especially like going back on the road and we'll name drop here in a second because that is fun. But when you are out in it and it's just constantly moving like a whirlwind, how do you center yourself?
Honestly, my faith is like the only thing that keeps me completely centered on the road and at home every day, all day. I mean, that's what I try to do first thing in the morning every single day, is just like read my Bible for a little bit and take some quiet time and just recenter. Because without that, you can tell if I've been like 2 or 3 days without it, I'm not the same human being. I will be a little chaotic or a little short-tempered. But that's probably my biggest secret.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate that. The hour is flying by incredibly fast, and we're only 3 songs in, so I'm going to shut up, and I'm going to give you back the floor and let you do your thing. What would you like to play for us next here on the Jam Happy Hour?
I'm going to go off of what we're talking about again. I'm going to play a song I wrote for my dad.
Aww.
Just feels right now, you know?
Okay.
Actually, I have a fun fact as well. This song, I wrote it quite a while ago now. It came out on my first EP. And we decided, it had a little moment on TikTok recently, and I have been saying, I'm like, I don't feel like that song got the life it deserves, not because I like think it's better than anything else, but just because I'm like, I just know the sentiment behind it. I know how many people have good or bad relationships with their father, or they have some kind of figure in their life that represents that role my dad played for me. And so we decided that we're going to re-record the song. This is coming out in February as a wedding version, rewriting the second verse, and letting it live again. So
that's exciting. What's it called?
Yes, this is called Shoes to Fill.
All right. Thank you so much.
I fell down in the driveway, scraped my knee, and Dad ran out with a Band-Aid. Well, he sat down beside me, eye to eye there on the concrete, just let me cry and wipe my tears away. And at 16, when I wrecked my first car, well, I thought he'd be mad 'cause it was my fault. But he picked me up, dropped everything, and swore he wouldn't say a thing. Just let me cry and wipe my tears away. Yeah, he spent my whole life sitting in a bar for the man who gets to have my heart. I deserve. And if you're gonna love me like nobody ever will, well, baby, you've got big shoes to fill. I spent 2 years betting my heart on someone who swore he'd never felt more in love. But on that day he walked away, all his words lost their way, 'cause deep down I knew how it would end up. 'Cause I know I'll know when love feels right, since I've seen it in my father's eyes. So if you wanna take the hand that he held first, you have gotta be the man he showed me I deserve. And if you're gonna love me like nobody ever will, well, baby, you've got big shoes to fill. And then it's time to give up my last name. Well, dear, whoever's standing in his place, if you wanna take the hand that he held first, you have gotta be the man he showed me I deserve. And if you're gonna love me like nobody ever will, baby, you've got big shoes to fill.
That is a very daddy-daughter song, and it's a beautiful song.
Thank
and
you so much.
I think like the whole the wedding vibe and the kind of freshening it up a little bit. I think that's going to
Yes,
be
exactly.
really...
Just like a slower, I don't know, we're excited for sure.
I mean, is Dad involved in the project now that he knows, or you play it for him? I mean, it's got to be so emotional.
It is. I don't know if I've successfully gotten through that song live when he's in the audience, which has been
God, I
at
bet
least
not.
10 times, and every time choking up.
You've been together.
Yeah. I played recently at the Lake of the Ozarks. I played my first amphitheater, which was amazing.
Cool.
But I sang that song and done. Just lost it. Just not good at all. Just
Such a beautiful moment, though. I love that. We are here with Halle Kearns this evening in the Sweet Relief Musicians Fun Jam Happy Hour, and we're doing something a little different this go around. It's being the final show of the year. What we've done is we're doing our first Donate to Win campaign, and Halle jumped in with us, and she actually wrote down the lyrics to Moment, which was our very first song here this evening, and you can donate to the fund for your chance to win the journal and the handwritten lyrics. And thank you so much for doing that.
Oh my gosh, it's an honor. Seriously. I'm so happy to do it. So happy to be a part of it.
I think for me, when getting into music, I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to music production and engineering and getting into the systems and hearing, you get into music, as a singer and a songwriter, and you just playing your guitar and I just want to sing, but then you get into the studio and it becomes a whole different thing. And you had mentioned earlier that you enjoy studio time. I mean, I think it's super cool what they can do with, everything these days, but tell me about your experience in the studio and how much you enjoy it.
I will say it's improving every single time I go in. My first go around was tough. I played around 300 shows back in Kansas City before I had moved to Nashville. They were also acoustic, so I had that down. I was good. I had that. And then I got into the studio and ready to record my first one. I was like, this is a completely different art. Completely different art altogether. I am level 0 when it comes to this stuff. So I didn't know how to communicate what I wanted. I didn't really know what I wanted. I didn't know how to actually physically do it. No.
I need something meteor. I need something fuzzy. I need something high. You're like, what?
Yeah. No, there's no way. And I had no idea the difference instrumentation. I knew what instruments I wanted. I just didn't know how to like explain how exactly that lingo, how I want it to sound. And every single time I'm learning more and more. And like, thank God for producers who are so patient with me and so great with just teaching me all that stuff. My producer right now, his name's Sam Martinez, and he is an angel. Like, adore him. But I seriously still to this day, like, I'll use lingo just like, I want it to sound more like sparkly right here. Can you make it sparkly? And he's like, yeah, sure. I'll figure that out, whatever that means. And I'm like, perfect. Thank you so much. But I really do love the process. It's so fun watching it go from nothing, like just what you heard, to like a whole,
like this whole thing.
Yeah.
I think it's very interesting, you know, when it comes to music, and because it is such a visceral thing and people hear it differently and they feel it differently, that it's also explained differently. Like you said, like it's not just like, you know, bass lines and rhythms and stuff like that. It is about how it's going to make you feel. And the fact that, you know, you as a driver of that boat, you know, get to kind of like dictate, you know, how people are going to feel in those 2, 3, sometimes, you know, 4 minutes in these little musical nuggets of yours. What do you have planned for 23 as far as like releasing new music?
Oh, I'm so excited. This is the most music I will release in a year, up to date, or to this date.
Next year.
This coming year, sorry.
Okay.
Starting in February, I will have a song out every 6 weeks. New song out every 6 weeks, which is so fun. I've never done that before. Lots of new music coming, and I'm really excited about all of it.
That's putting a big, that's putting a big, like, not a target, but that's a big goal, like a new song every 6 weeks. So you must have like a bunch of, you know, I think of it as like little potted plants ready to like jump out of the soil. Like you have a stable of songs that are ready to go.
Yeah. Yes and no. You're like,
yes
and
really
no. Prepared. And I'm like, not at all. No. Less prepared than I should be, but like I'm overeager and excited to do it all. But it will be a lot of work and will take a lot of time. I think that's one of the common misconceptions too about the studio. Like, just before you know it, you just don't know it. Where you think you just get in the studio and then you're done. You got a song, but like there's just such a process behind each single you hear. And I'm excited. I do have a couple ready to roll, and I have everything written. If anything beats it out along the way, we will focus on that when it comes. But right now, yes, I have everything ready to roll.
Somebody said to me yesterday, remember to make room for the unplanned to occur.
It's
and
incredible.
When it was necessary.
You're like, not in this instance.
Not in this sense, but like when you put yourself on that kind of goal, have you given yourself that kind of room to let the unexpected happen?
Sure. I think obviously the goal is every 6 weeks, but I also talked with the team whenever we made that plan. I was like, I do want to be able, you know, if there's a song living and doing its thing, I'm not gonna take away and release something prematurely just to,
very smart,
you know. And so we'll definitely be pivoting a little bit based on that kind of stuff, and outside circumstances. You never know what life has for us in this next year, so I'll keep all that. It's not like I have to, no matter what, it's gonna come out on week 6, but I do, like, I just, basically the plan is a lot of music next year, and that's the overall goal more than anything. Is just like
the industry itself. I mean, music delivery's changed so much in the last couple of years. It used to be you had to have an album and a plan and a thing and I'll sit with you. And, you know, now it's like people can just like throw up their playlist on Spotify and boom, here's all these songs, or I'm going to put it on TikTok, or I'm going to, you know, I'm just going to release it. And it's like music delivery has changed so much in the last couple of years. It's got to be an exciting time for you as an artist, but it also has to be kind of like a crazy time too. Like, there's no rules anymore. It's no holds barred. Like, you can just be like, okay, boom, let's do this and see what happens every 6 weeks.
That's exactly right. And it is this, like, you can't plan for it because there is no right or wrong, and there's no recipe or guideline. So it's really just like, it's not necessarily like throwing stuff against a wall and seeing what sticks, but it is sort of this, like, put everything you got into it and continue to do that every time. And it's not like I see which one works and I'm just going to throw a bunch of singles out that I don't care about and hopefully one pops off. Like, nothing to do with that. It's which, like, the most common thing I've heard whenever new music comes out, it's like, cool, when's the next one? Right. And so this kind of gives, like, at least people who like my music, like, a look forward to, you know, it's coming soon. You know, there's like a lot more coming out. And I've written so much this past year that I'm excited. I want these out. If not, they're just gonna sit around forever, and I want them to have
Yep.
lives. So
Musical
we're
babies, let's put them out there.
musical babies. That's
God, these
right.
babies. Speaking of which, let's get another musical baby out here because our hour is quickly coming to an
Perfect.
end. It's absolutely insane how fast this flies by with you. Thank you so much for being here with us. By the way, we're not done yet. Y'all, don't leave just yet. Keep commenting,
don't
liking, sharing. We're
stay.
all, for everyone that you do, you get another $1 in for the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund here in the Jam Happy Hour, and we love that. But what song would you like to play for us next?
I'm gonna play. Well, am I playing one or two more? It'll depend.
I think we can squeeze in 2,
Squeeze in two?
if I shut up.
Perfect. Girl, same. I was telling Greg, who was helping me out with sound before this, I was telling him, I was like,
Yeah.
if it's up to us, like talking, I was like, I can talk all day long. So you're just
All
gonna
day
tell me
long.
shut up at some point and play, and I will do it.
We got that. No, we got room for
Yeah,
2.
yeah,
We
yeah.
got you.
Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna play. This one mentions wines. We'll do this one.
Perfect. In the Jam
All
Happy
before
Hour.
we could.
Enjoy.
It was all Friday nights with a glass of rosé, staying inside, talking over the rain coming down. And it was all Sunday morning, walks in the park, blue sky watching me in his arms, till I started thinking about how it all seemed too good to be true, and if I leave now, I'll have less to lose. And so I ran from what I wanted. That front door was my way out. I pulled out the driveway, turned on the highway, headlights looking down the easy route. Yeah, I saw forever in his "I need you" eyes. He didn't deserve to hear goodbye, but I was scared to let my heart do what it should, and so I broke it before he could. Yeah, I know I let a good thing go, but when I started looking down that long road, I could see everything falling apart. So I went ahead and got a head start, and I ran from what I wanted. That front door was my way out. I pulled out the driveway, turned on the highway, headlights looking down the easy route. Yeah, I saw forever in his "I need you" eyes. He didn't deserve to hear goodbye, but I was scared to let my heart do what it should, and so I broke it before he could leave me. Kitchen floor crying, kicking myself, asking God why, praying someday that he'll turn back around. I'll probably like he's hoping I will right now, because I ran from what I wanted. That front door was my way out. I pulled out the driveway, turned on the highway, looking down the easy route. Yeah, I saw forever in his "I need you" eyes. He didn't deserve to hear goodbye, but I was scared to let my heart do what it should. Yeah, I was scared to let my heart work like it should, and so I broke it before he could. I broke it before he could.
Such a good story. And I think it's one everybody can relate to yet again. Such a great song, again, Before He Could, with Halle Kearns here in the Jam Happy Hour for the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund here this evening, the final show of the year. And again, cheers to 2022. You had quite the year. And we promised some name dropping, and I'm looking on your Instagram, and I see you with Darius. And you talk about somebody, Darius Rucker. You talk about somebody who's been able to shift and move and mold and change. And what was that like, being able to experience that show with him?
Yeah, I don't know how to explain it. It was just so full circle for me. Like I told you, I grew up on 90s country, but my dad was a huge Hootie and the Blowfish fan too. So like I listened to him since as long as I can remember. I mean, back in Hootie days, and then
Hold
into
my hand.
the country. Exactly.
Crack your
right
view.
into his country career. So he's not only like a legend in the country music world, but like a legend to me personally. Like Lil Baby Halle is like, that's all I don't know. He's just one of those people. And so I also that was where I played my first amphitheater. So that whole experience was just
huge pinch me moment.
So special. And my whole family was there, and home state and that kind of thing. It was just,
oh my God, I got chills just thinking
magic.
about that. So cool.
Yeah.
So you're so good with intentions and projections and what's coming next. Like, if you wanted to throw 3 words into 2023 to set the tone for you, what 3 words would you throw into the new year?
I got a great transition for that.
3
words.
Besties?
I think we're best friends.
Okay,
we
good.
are. It's so funny because I was literally about to say this saying, and it's the name of my last song I'm going to play. It hasn't been released yet. It will be out sometime this next year.
Awesome.
But God Only Knows.
Whoa!
That is it.
That's
I got
good.
no idea, girl.
That's so
I got
good.
no clue, but he does, and I'm just like, along for the ride, whatever you want to do. So that's
I
my
will
plan.
take that transition and I will run with it. You guys,
go.
if you got the moment we all just had here together, please like, click, share, pop up an emoji, prayer hands, whatever you feel the need to do. We will donate $1 every time you do that on your behalf to the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund, because God only knows.
Because God only knows. Truly.
I like that. Thank you, Halle. You're in the Jam Happy Hour. Take it away.
Thank you. Well, I've heard that cowboys and angels are a match made in heaven. So how come I still haven't found my happy end? And I've learned that patience is important, and you're not supposed to force it. 'Cause out of the blue, love finds you when you least expect it. But I've still got questions. 'Cause God only knows why you ain't mine yet. Maybe he's waiting on perfect timing. Are you down the road? Are you out of state? Or are you still one heartbreak away? Yeah, I know there's a little magic in not knowing what's gonna happen. I can't wait to see the day when we both know what God only knows. Are you in a high-rise apartment or a small town where the stars live? You got your mama's soft, your daddy's tough, or somewhere in between. And do you think about me? Well, God only knows why you ain't mine yet. Maybe he's waiting on perfect timing. Are you down the road? Are you out of state? Or are you still one heartbreak away? And I know there's a little magic in not knowing what's gonna happen. But I can't wait to see the day when we both know what God only knows. God only knows. 'Cause God only knows why you ain't mine yet. Maybe he's waiting on perfect timing. Are you down the road? Are you out of state? Or are you still one heartbreak away? And I know there's a little magic in not knowing what's gonna happen. But I can't wait to see the day when we both know. Now I can't wait to see the day when we both know what God only knows. God only knows.
How perfect was that? Absolutely. 100% amazing.
It's just meant to be.
Hallie, thank you so much for
Thank
coming and
you
hanging
so
out
much.
with us.
This is
And
so much fun.
we didn't get into the Chiefs. We didn't get into barbecue. We didn't get into Summers in the Ozark. We need to do this again. If you're ever out,
Absolutely.
please come back on. Thank you so much for being a part of the final Jam Happy Hour here for 2022. An amazing year for us both. But I look forward to all the things coming your way in 23. And hopefully you here in our tasting room. I know you've got family kind of out in the Bay Area. So let's do this. Thank you so much for everybody who's been enjoying the show tonight. Make sure you like, share, and comment so we can continue to donate to the fund on the behalf. And if you just got to, know Hallie a little bit better, please follow her on all of her socials. The best thing you can do is share her music on all of your playlists and just support new artistry. And this has been a beautiful hour, and thank you so much for your time and for your talent.
This has been so fun. Thank you so much, Shanna. Thank you, Jam, for
cheers to
having
you.
me. Cheers to you.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! It was so fun. I'll see you in 2023, girl. My
All
new
right,
bestie.
see you in 23.